Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I have missed you guys. I've been very busy, and so with that being said, I have not journaled in my junk journal since the beginning of April. So I'm playing catch up today. I'm going to get all the way caught up with my junk journal, and then we'll go from here, and hopefully I'll have some pretty interesting things going on during the summer to journal about as well. So yeah, with that being said, I am journaling about Easter. I know it's been about a century since you saw any journaling videos from me, and so I'm really happy to be able to get back into it. I finished school about 2 weeks ago, and then of course, just my luck, I got sick immediately after I got out of school, and I've been sick for like a week. It's just like a cold, but I've been pretty miserable. I have asthma too, so yeah, it just exacerbated the asthma, and it's been pretty miserable for me. So I'm recouping now. I'm better, but my asthma, just like as soon as it gets activated, it stays for a little while. So yeah, that's the only downside, but I am okay, and I am going to be I'm working right now on a bunch of stuff that I'm gonna try to put up on Etsy very soon, some new stuff that I have never tried before, so that will be fun. And of course some digitals, because I play on my computer all the time, and just happen to have a bunch of stuff that I can scan in and make pretty for you guys. I was kind of wondering what people thought about the collage sheets. Like there's the digitals, right? And in my shop, I make digitals that you can like print out, and you can like resize them on your computer and then print them out whatever size you want. But then there's like the collage sheet, which I've seen a lot of people doing lately, and it's just kind of like one big sheet that goes together. I don't know. I like the collage sheets when I'm collaging, but when I'm looking for like ephemera to put in my journals, I don't like them so much. So I don't know. Kind of wanted to hear your thoughts on the collage sheets, if you know what I'm talking about. I think like Ruby and Pearl does collage sheets and things like that. So if you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section what you think about that, or what you would prefer, because I can certainly make collage sheets out of the stuff that I have. And I was actually kind of thinking that I might take some of the ephemera from several packs and like make collage sheets with them. And I might still do that anyway, and just leave the other ephemera packs together, because most of the ephemera packs I have are kind of like themed, like school themed or whatever. So yeah, I really want to know what you guys think about that, because I am working on several things, and I want to know if that's something that you guys would be interested in or not. So yeah, like I said, I've started some new journals, and I've started all the digital stuff. I'm working on some other goodies that I can put in my shop as well. But other than that, I have been trying to just like rest and take it easy, because I've not been feeling great. So I feel like I'm not moving as fast as I should be right now, especially with the videos. I'm like, I feel like such a failure on YouTube right now. And I'm sorry for everybody that's still with me. Yeah, it's just been rough, but it's life, I'm human, so it's okay. Sometimes I think I'm a machine, and I have to treat myself that way, and then I get it's too much for me. I guess I should tell you what's going on this page. Like I said, we're going all the way back to the beginning of April. I'm journaling about our little Easter excursion, even though it's not like something significant or anything like that. We just went to my mom's for Easter and had like a little Easter egg hunt. We didn't even have Easter eggs. because they were out of them at the store by the time we decided we were going to do this. So we just went and got candy and like threw the candy out there for them to find. It was a candy hunt. So that was fun. We had hot dogs or whatever, you know, just like hung out for a minute. And then that little flower I put in an envelope. It was like a teeny CD envelope. It was the cutest thing I'd ever seen. So I just put that flower. I've had that flower for a long time, and I don't even know where it came from. It might have come from my garden or my mom's garden, most likely, but I don't know. But yeah, I had pressed it like 1.5 million years ago, and I decided that it would look good on this page since it's purple, and you know, Easter, I don't know why, but Easter reminds me of like pinks and purples, so I'm throwing a lot of pinks and purples on this page just because it feels right. So this was like a little bag that I ended up getting in something I purchased a long time ago, and I've had it laying around forever, but it had that pink, the pink flowers in it, so I thought that would go well on this page. And then I'm just playing around with some other things that I've had laying around that I don't know what to do with. This is a card that I got for Easter from my grandmother, and so I'm just like, she wrote me a really long note as well, so I'm just like stapling that onto the card, and I'm going to tuck that into the pocket. And then this is just a paint chip just to kind of throw that green color in, because I'm going to put those tags on the other page as well. So this is something that I've been trying lately. I have been trying to make like lace covered paper, or like a lace pattern on paper, and I have officially figured out how to do that, so those will be coming to my shop very soon. I'm not sure how I'm going to put that up yet, or what it's going to look like, but it will be coming to my shop very soon. I'm just kind of trying to work on getting a good basis to start with. And so yeah, just washi tape that down just to make sure that edge doesn't come up. And then this is like a little journaling card that I made a long time ago, and I think it's really pretty. I've been hoarding it for a while because I love it so much, but I decided I would use it on this page as like a pocket. So I'm going to use some double-sided tape to put the tickets down at the bottom of that page, and then I'm going to use double-sided tape to make that journaling card into a pocket. So I'm just using a little bit of washi tape just to make sure that that bag doesn't come up when I put something in the pocket later. And then I go ahead and stick the journaling card down as well. So this is when I got the idea to make like a little book, and I kind of went crazy on the little booklets today, but it was a lot of fun to make. So I'm just cutting down some papers that are going to go into my little booklet. This came from something else I bought a while ago, and I just thought the print was very pretty. She tea-dyed that, so yeah, I'm just kind of throwing in a bunch of stuff that I had laying around already. That's another piece of that lace paper that I made, and then this is just something I was playing around with, so I'm cutting that up, and that's going to be another page. This was something that I printed off that my printer just decided it was going to stop midway through the print, so I saved that, and I'm just cutting that down to fit into my little booklet as well. I guess I should call it a notepad. It's more like a little notepad. And this is just some tea-dyed paper that I screwed up, and I'm just going to line all that up and then staple it together. So then I decided that I needed something to top the little notebook with. So I had this little avocado dyed paper doily, and I decided to stick that on there with some double-sided tape just to hide the staples. And then I'll put a little decoration label on the top of that as well. And then for the back, because that was like a card that somebody had written me when I bought something from their shop, I wanted to cover up the writing so I could write on the back of it as well. So I just cut down another piece of paper and I glued that straight on top of that page. And that's my little book. I just tucked that behind the journaling card I made. And then for underneath that bag, I wanted to do something that was maybe a little bit more interesting than just having the lace paper there. So I had this little vellum sheet that actually goes over a card, like it's like one of those make your own card kits or whatever. And I just put another hole in it that matched up with the holes at the top of that page that were already there. And I'm just using some string that I had laying around. This also came off of a package that I received, and I'm gonna make a big mess with that until I decide that I should just cut it. And so I just tie that in a bow, and yeah, I'm gonna do something with that in a minute. I didn't really want to write on top of the lace paper because I think it's really pretty, and it was like my first attempt at it, so I opted to do the vellum sheet so I could still see the lace paper underneath and everything, but I thought that this would be a pretty cool thing to do. I don't normally ever really know what to do with vellum because it's just such a weird paper, so I thought that maybe I could do like a stamp and like color it in and maybe do like a quote on there or something, because I like quotes and they just kind of make my journal interesting to look back on later. So I decided to go with like a rose stamp, and I don't know where my acrylic block is at the moment, so I'm just gonna do this by hand, which isn't that big of a deal. Yeah, I tend to do that more often than I should maybe. It did smudge a little, but I fixed it later, and you'll see that at the end where I just cleaned up the lines when I colored it in. I just put a label down at the bottom of this page because it makes the page feel more finished for whatever reason, and I'm moving on to the next page. So this page is going to be all about Jeremy's trip to Texas. This was the first time he left for, like a week since last October, I guess. He went to West Virginia last year, and this year he's just now going out of town again. So he went to Texas, and it was just for a week, and so I wanted to kind of document that, and a lot happened that week, honestly. Like, he left and everything started happening. It was crazy. Some of it was kind of personal, but yeah, it was just like a crazy week for me. So I had this map of Texas, and I don't know exactly where he went, but I just picked one of the map pages that I liked, and it's actually of the Dallas area. So I just folded that over the edge of that page and turned that into like a little pocket. So I'm just going to use some double-sided tape to stick that down. And then that other page is a picture of the river that he was working on. He basically he he does some sort of construction on the rivers and like reshapes them or redigs them or whatever, something like that. That was totally not technical, I'm sorry. But but yeah, that's something like what he does. He operates heavy machinery, so whatever you do on a river to like fix it with heavy machinery, yeah, that's what he does. So that was like part of their plans when they were out there. And so he brought them home because they're like huge sheets of paper and they look really cool. So I'm using a piece of that, and then so yeah, I just glued that straight down to that page, and I'm gonna put something over it later. So this is like a little piece of cross stitch that somebody did. I ended up with this piece. It came in something that I bought from like Goodwill or something like that. So I'm just taking it out of the frame and I'm cutting it down because I think it's really cute, and I would want to look at it later. And it says, "Home is where the hug is," which I think is cute. So this is one of the flower ephemera cards that I made in the last video, and that flower actually came from Texas on this trip. He brought it home to me. He was out there pressing flowers for me, which I'm sure he felt like it took away from his masculinity, but he's so sweet to me. He knows that I like flowers, so he pressed those for me. He pressed a couple for me, but I'm using that one because it's red. And then this is like one of the book covers that I have, and I made a scan of it, and then I printed it out in a smaller size, and I'm actually going to make these available on Etsy as well because these covers are just so pretty. So this is my absolute favorite cover, and I decided that I would make another little booklet out of it. So I'm going to, I folded it up so that it was like an accordion book, I guess. So it's going to have two separate sections for papers, kind of like sectioned off signatures, if you will. And I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff in there. This is a card that I got in a package that was sent to me, and I think it's beautiful, but I'm not going to end up using it on this page. So I'm just cutting down some papers to fit inside of my little booklet, and then just like the last booklet, I'm just going to staple it together. This is one of my linens. I'm just going to cut that down and make that into a page as well. So just as a side note, this did bulk my journal up a little bit. It's already pretty bulky, and I'm not even through the first half of the book. So honestly, I'm gonna have to like take out some pages or something. Yeah, I'm kind of at that point in the journal where I'm ready to move on to a new journal. So I am going to do my best to try to fill up as much as possible throughout the next couple of weeks, and hopefully have this journal done and get into a new journal before summer starts, or rather that June starts. How about that? Summer is here for me. I'm out of school, but summer is almost here for the kids. And yeah, I get kind of stuck in a rut and don't want to journal anymore if I stay in a journal too long. And I feel like I'm at that point with this journal, although I love it. And my good friend Emily sent it to me, and it's an adorable journal, but I have bulked it up so much at this point. So yeah, I'm gonna try to finish it up, and I have a plan for my new journal. So yeah, stay tuned for that for sure. It's really cool looking. So yeah, I'm still working on the pages for this journal. I just kind of started throwing stuff in, and all of the journaling that I do in this little journal is going to be kind of private, but I feel like that's a good space for me to do that. Not that I don't want to share with you guys, but everybody's got private thoughts. So, and this is my journal. This is like legitimately where I write all of my stuff. So, it's pretty cool to like be able to give you access to like my inner thoughts a little bit, but there are some things that I would like to keep private. So yeah, I'm gonna do my private stuff, my private journaling stuff in there, and then I'll share with you at the end some of the pages in there. So there's my little booklet, and then I'm gonna take this journaling card with the flower on it out, and I'm just gonna staple it along the opposite page, because I feel like it should be seen all the way from top to bottom and not tucked away in a page. And then I have this paint chip that says Texas Storm on it, and I thought that was pretty appropriate. So I'm going to put that behind the flower card in a minute and make that like a little journaling card. And this cigar band that I have, it's like a floral cigar band, which I think is really cute. So it fit perfectly on the page, and so I just glued that on, and I'm going to use that like as a little belly band for this teeny tag that I have. So I put a little bit of ledger paper over the top, just some scrap ledger paper that I had over the top of that tag, and then I'm just going to repunch the hole, and then just using a little bit of sari trim to make like a little bow at the top. And then I tuck that in the cigar band. So this is a business card that I got in some mail. And I thought the business card was so pretty, so I decided to use this on this page and just cover up the writing that was on the front and use it as a label instead. So I'm just figuring out where I'm going to put that, and I'm just going to glue that straight down to the map page. And then with this feather that he brought me from Texas, I am just going to use a little bit of washi tape and stick that down to the first page of my little notebook. And then I'll do something with that later. And then with the little cross stitch piece, I just stapled that onto a page in the notebook as well. So I'm just positioning that paint chip, trying to decide where I wanted to put it. I liked the way it looked behind the flower, especially when I wrote on it later. So it just kind of lives back there now. I'm using a little bit of glue on this washi tape because it's not very sticky, and just sticking that to the top and bottom of that flower card just to kind of hide the staples and make it look prettier. And that's all I do to that page. So on to the next page. I am journaling about Mother's Day. Nothing amazing happened on Mother's Day, but I did get some cards from the kids, so I wanted to document those. We Grubhubbed some Chipotle and just stayed inside literally all day, like did not do anything, which was nice for me. That was like immediately after school ended for me, so I just needed a break at that point, which I feel like I deserved. So I'm just putting some little photo corners on this picture that my daughter made for me at school, and I think it's so cute. So I'm just sticking that down to the page. I used a piece of the Chipotle bag wrapper on that page just to decorate and kind of keep that memory without really explicitly saying what that is. And then I'm just going to use like a linen and kind of decorate this page as best as I can. everything's pretty much just glued to this page, nothing super fancy. No little booklets for this one. But this is a carving that Jeremy did while on Mother's Day. Like, he did this pretty much in a day. And he made it with a chainsaw, and I don't even know if he used a Dremel or anything on there. He just like used a chainsaw and made an owl. So I love that because as you may know, I am a huge Harry Potter fan. So I love owls, and so this was really cool for me. And so I claimed it. It's mine. So I'm gonna just put this linen up at the top. I just cut it down in half to fit at the top of that page, and then I'm gonna put this picture of the owl. It's not the best picture in the world. Obviously in person it's way cooler, but I just stuck that to the page as well, just to kind of keep the memory of what happened on Mother's Day. And then on the next page, I'm putting the picture that my son gave me for Mother's Day down on the page. This was meant to be like a magnet for the refrigerator, but I just took the magnet thing off of there and made this into like a little pocket for some journaling space. So I tucked the guest check in behind that picture in a minute. So I just used some double-sided tape to stick that photo down. And then tuck that guest check behind there, and I'll do some journaling on that later. And then last, I'm just going to put a couple of stickers around just for fun. So I had this little heart sticker, and then another one that says count your blessings, and I put that on the top of my son's picture. And that's all I did for those pages. So that is it, guys. I hope that you are all doing well, and you also had a lovely Mother's Day. I know that was the most recent, but yeah, I will have another video coming out. I'm gonna try to make videos on a specific day. I just don't know what day it's gonna be yet, but I'll at least have a video out a week from now until, you know, later on this year maybe. So definitely look forward to that. The next video that I do, I'm just going to be making some ephemera and tags and stuff for some journals that I'm working on. So I will try to come up with some cool ideas for tags that maybe you haven't seen yet. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.